Love you. All right. Looks like everything should be going smoothly. How is everyone doing? Let's see here. How is everyone doing today? And we're going to get started in like just a few more minutes, probably like 4 more minutes. We'll go ahead and officially start. But in the meantime, how is everyone doing? How is everyone's day today? Who we got today? We got Stitch. We got Ryan Tilley. Chris Pollard. Ackright. What's going on, bro? Jim, the Mad Viking. We got DJ as well. Good to see everyone here. And Nick Moore. Brewer, my man. What's going on, bro? Bazooka Joe. What's going on, dude? Winner here. Winner. Jelly Bean. How's everyone's day going so far? If you guys can let me know, how is the audio coming in? Making sure it's nice and crispy, nice and audible. And of course, also the video quality as well. I want to make sure that it is going to be all copacetic. Battle Buddy, I'm great. What about you? I'm doing good, man. Thanks. Had a bit of a stressful morning this today. You know, car died out on my way to work, so I had to get that all sorted out. So, but other than that, I'm actually very excited. I needed to pick me up, and the streams always are a great pick me up for me. Let's see here. Hung Moose Studios, howdy. What's going on, man? CJ Spartan 225, what's going on, dude? Cool cow. Stoked my first big order shipped. Hey, man, congratulations, Bazooka Joe. Ronald Hoover, what's going on, dude? Cameron O'Neill, audio visual good. Thank you, much appreciated. Stitch, thank you for clarifying as well. Let's see. Read my first time I made it to stream. Hey, congratulations and welcome to the stream. Hell of a stream to go ahead and join in. Yeah, bro, that's why I wasn't in today. My car fucking died on me, man. I mean, to be fair, it was definitely like past due of when like I should get it serviced, but you know, and I normally get fix the issues myself when it comes to my car, see if I try to save money. But this time around, I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with it, so. Want to leave it to the experts. I can only do so much. Yeah, we'll get started in just like 2 more minutes. Mark Popejoy, what's going on, man? Battle Buddy. I'm going to get into that question later, Battle Buddy. But yeah, honestly, yeah. Dope. I'll go ahead and ask your question again when I officially start, and I can definitely go ahead and go more into detail about why I say that. What's going on, Ryan Tilley? All right, cool. Want to make sure we're all good. Audio, visual should be good. Sick. I'm actually really excited. How was your guys' weekend, too, by the way? I didn't get to ask that. How rude of me. How was your guys' weekend? Did you guys play this weekend? It was freaking hot, man. It was really, really hot. Something wrong with the stream? I'm not seeing anything wrong with the stream. No, stream seems to be going great. Stitch getting my Mark II closer to done, just waiting on a Bifrost. I can't wait to see when it's done. Stupid fly. 1 more minute, we'll go ahead and officially start answering some questions. Get right into it. Ooh, Stitch, had to work Sunday. That sucks, bro. Baba Yawa, we do. We'll get started. Start officially answering some questions in a bit. Then we'll get right into the details of everything. But yeah, did you guys play this weekend? I'm actually curious. Like, I really wanted to play. Some stuff came up and I wasn't able to. And I was thinking in my head, you know what? I'll just play next week. Looks like that's not happening either. All right, guys, it is 7:35. We'll go ahead and officially start. What is going on, guys, to another episode of the No Flight List live stream. Thank you for everyone who chose to go ahead and spend your free time hanging out with myself and, of course, the rest of the Mayo Gang. Before we go start answering some questions, if you guys didn't know, yes, this is indeed a Q&A live stream. So if you guys have any sort of questions, make sure to go ahead and let me know down in the live chat, not in the comment section. Again, that's going to be the live chat specifically, not the comment section. I can't see that yet, not until after this video goes up and everything. So make sure you put it in the live chat, and make sure you are putting the letter Q in front of your question. That way I can more easily see it and distinguish it. It's a lot easier to see it and spot it, and a lot harder to get lost. It can still get lost in the chat, don't get me wrong, and you are more than welcome to ask your question more than once if I have not been able to get to it yet. However, much appreciated if you would not spam. No one likes a spammer. And before we go ahead and get started into the questions themselves, I want to let you guys know of some promos going on right now. Y'all know, again, the regulars know that every stream that I do, I will always make sure that we do a few promos for you guys, more opportunities for you guys to go ahead and increase your chances of winning the Shopping Spree giveaway. The Shopping Spree giveaway we got going on right now is going for $1,200, and you guys can win it. It's going on this Thursday. Cisco's going to be hosting that live stream. Starts at 5:30. I want to make sure that you get your orders in, right? Any $20 order will automatically enter you. However, if you order any airsoft gun that's $100 or more, you'll be getting one. I don't know why I put a dash there. You'll be getting one entry into the, or no, you'll be getting 10 entries. What the fuck is going on? You'll be getting 10 entries into the Shopping Spree giveaway. That's 10 entries. I don't know why maybe I put a 0 and then I have to put a dash, whatever, a typo. You'll be getting 10 entries in the Shopping Spree, but it has to be an airsoft gun specifically that's $100 or more. Anything less than $100 and it will not count. You can also place a $50 order before 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you will be getting 5 entries in the Shopping Spree giveaway. Again, both these promos right here. There we go. Both of these promos right here are only going to be eligible until the... why is it moving? Why is it moving? Why is everything moving? There we go. Are only going to be eligible for, or from starting from 7:30 from when the stream officially started till the end of the live stream, which is going to be 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Once it hits that time frame, once the stream is over, that's it. Those deals are donezo. However, if you were to order yourself, say, I don't know, maybe specifically one of the newer products like the Independence Day Mystery Box, you will also be getting 10 entries into the Shopping Spree giveaway. Again, guys, this is all opportunities that we want to give back to you guys, back to the community, so that way you guys have more of a chance of winning that $1,200 prize pot for yourself. It only takes one order to win, so make sure you place orders. There have been many winners, many winners, who have won off of literally one order. I believe the last winner won off a bag of BBs, right? So again, anyone can win. So make sure that you place your orders now while you still can. Chances are really good in your favor. The chances are really good in your favor right now, especially with those promos. I mean, we've had several winners win off of the promos that I've actually given off like real well before. So make sure you take advantage while you can. Now, with that said, why don't we go ahead and answer some questions. Now, again, I'm going to be doing my best to answer as many questions as I possibly can. Again, you are more than welcome to ask your question yet if I haven't already answered it. But please do not spam it. If we start noticing you are spamming your question, we're just going to go ahead and kick you. No one wants that. It's going to be a bad time for everyone. So do yourself a favor. Just don't do it. This could be anything airsoft related. If you guys are looking for recommendations, my opinions on certain things, if you guys want to ask me, personal questions about myself, I am an open book. I do not care. Feel free to go ahead and ask away. There's no such thing as a dumb question. If you haven't already, make sure to leave the live stream a thumbs up and make sure to share this around with as many people as you possibly can, especially newer players. If you guys know anyone that's trying to get into airsoft, maybe a little bit curious, not too sure where to begin, send them our way. I can definitely go ahead and help them out. I'm not going to go ahead and roast anyone for their questions or anything. I just want to go ahead and help out as many people as I possibly can. Now, with that said, let's get on into it. Okay. This one comes from Battle Buddy. If I spend more than $100 on only a gun, will I get the giveaway, or do I have to spend on specific items? No. If you spend $100 and it's just on a gun, that's totally fine. Yeah, as long as it's an airsoft gun that's $100 or more, you will be getting those 10 entries into the giveaway. That's all it is. That's all you got to do. It's very simple. You can also go ahead and order yourself an Independence Day mystery box, right? That's another one. Again, for those that don't know, right, the Independence Day mystery box, there's only 40 left, right? We had more. And for a good reason, these things started selling out, but you guys have to jump on it now because, again, only 40 left. That's not that many, right? Retails for $170. That's already insane considering what you're getting, right? The prize list on this thing is absolutely insane. Take a look at this, right? You got the Cobalt Kinetic, you got the Lancer 240, you got the A&K Mark 46s, both black and tan. You got both the black and tan VFC 416, the VFC OEM ones. You got yourself some more G&G, the 308, right? You got yourself the BCM, you got some LCTs, you got some KWAs like the Ronin T10, you got some KWA originals, some Zion Arms, the PW9s, and the R15s. Good Lord. And of course, right, the lowest tiered item on here, the Arcturus LWT, is already more expensive than the cost of the mystery box. So no matter which way you look at it, especially because you're getting free shipping, it's going to be a guaranteed dub. It's a guaranteed victory. You're going to get more than what you actually pay for. So definitely worth it. Make sure you go ahead and check it out. And again, place your order for one like tonight. Again, you order one tonight, you're going to be getting those 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. Why not? Just increase your odds. Okay, this one comes from Cameron O'Neill. Are Airsoft GI planning to open a warehouse in Europe? If not, any reasons as to why? So Cameron, as of right now, we don't have any plans to expand to Europe specifically. A lot of that actually does cost a lot of money. And again, like it's one of those expenses that's going to be really, really risky. And as of right now, we want to focus, put our attention on other things. Here's the thing though. We've been around for 20 years, right? Things in Airsoft have definitely changed. But who's to say, right, that in the future we could not like expand to that point, get to a point where we have, multiple chains again, and we can expand up to Europe. Honestly, it would be dope if we could. Might be a little tricky considering Airsoft laws are handled a little bit differently than they are in the US, but I mean, who's to say what the future can and can't hold, right? All right, that's a good question though. That's a good question. Thank you, Cameron. Next question comes from Blackout Gaming. Do you prefer HPA or gas blowback? Gas blowback. Now, that's not to say that I hate HPA necessarily. I won't lie, when I first started in Airsoft, yes, I was a bit skeptical towards HPA. Oh, guys, before I want to go ahead and get any further, I want to go ahead and give a shout-out. Look, I want to go and give a shout-out right now to Joshua, Ronald, another Joshua, and another Joshua. Looks like he's taking advantage. He's going to be getting all those, those orders for the 5 entries, right? But another entry is going to, or another shout-out is going to be going to Brian. He got himself the 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. Guys, right now, Brian is leading the pack, with Joshua and Ronald followed just right behind him with the 5 entries. Guys, they're smart. They're taking advantage of the promos right now. You can go ahead and be the next big winner of $1,200, and all you got to do is place a $20 or greater order. But might as well go ahead and increase those odds even more and place your orders, again, $50 or more, right? And you get those 5 entries. Here's the thing, guys. We all need BBs. We all need green gas. We all need the bare essentials. Am I right? We're all airsofters here. So you might as well go ahead and shop with the guys that are going to go ahead and reward you, right, with a chance of winning a shopping spree giveaway. 5 chances, actually. But again, if you know that you're looking for an Airsoft gun, you know the one that you want on the website, go ahead and just pick it up from Airsoft GI. We're the only ones that are going to give you the chance of winning $1,200. Or, if you want to do it with the mods, here's a little secret hack. Get $20 gift cards. If you want to do this, right? Get $20 gift cards. Make sure that it equals to, at the end, like when you buy enough of them, it equals the amount of the gun that you want to buy. Vouchers will take 1 business day for it to clear out, so most likely it'll clear tomorrow. Once they clear, then you can go ahead and place your order for that. There you go. But again, 10 entries. 10 entries. Damn. Might as well go ahead and take advantage. I feel like that's the better deal right now, honestly. All right, let's see here. But to answer your question, Blackout Gaming, when I first started, HPA didn't really seem all that attractive to me outside of its performance capabilities. And what I mean by that is the almost instantaneous trigger response that you get from it, right? The level of tuning that you get with it, right? Again, you want to play indoor? Great, tune it down. You want to play outdoor? Increase that PSI, right? That's a great system. It is a fantastic system for what it is. I'm just not a huge fan of the line and then having to invest in a rig and more equipment outside of just the gun, right? And I get it, right? Like you can make that argument about any form of play, right? Milsim, for example. Yeah, you buy the gun, but now you need the gear depending on the kit you're trying to put together. I get the argument, and I don't really care. At the end of the day, if you want to run HPA, it's a fantastic fucking system. There's a reason why we sell components for HPA as well. But at the end of the day, I do love the realism aspect of Airsoft. So if I had to pick between the two, for me, it would be a pretty easy decision to go with a gas blowback. DJ, his intrusive thoughts must be slipping. Let's see here. Okay, this one comes from Airsoft Info. And Stitch, thank you for answering that one. But yes, he asks, how many chances will $20 get you? It'll get you 1 entry. So every $20 order that you place, Airsoft Info, will get you 1 entry. However, for tonight only, until 9:30, if you place a $50 order, you will be getting 5 entries into the shopping spree. But that's only until 9:30. Once 9:30 hits, that's it. The deal's over. But yeah, at the end of the day, yes, any $20 order that you place can get you an entry into the shopping spree giveaway. But again, we like to go ahead and throw these opportunities out there. One, as a thank you to the community for supporting us for all these years, and to give back to you guys. Because again, we're not making any money off of the giveaway. We're actually losing money off of it. But again, we want to go and help you guys out and win this big prize pot. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, cool. Make sure I'm not missing. Okay, this one comes from Noah. Do you guys process packages on Saturdays and Sundays? No, we do not. It's going to be through the business week. So business week is going to be Monday through Friday. Business days are Monday through Friday. Saturdays and Sundays, we do not. Shipping department is not in on Saturdays, and Sundays we are closed. Monday is when we resume business. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. No, have you seen when Demo got mag dump? It's old, but before he got really big. I'm pretty sure it was one of those videos I might have seen back in the day. I'll be honest, guys, like. And I'm sure most of the regulars know this, but Noah, maybe not you, but I actually really don't like mag dump videos. Mag dump videos, in all seriousness, are the cancer of Airsoft. And you can quote me on that. You can 100% quote me on that. Especially if you're trying to go out there and, like, be funny, right? And it's like, oh, I'm going to go out and mag dump this guy, right? Whoever it may be. It doesn't matter if he's a well-known member of the community or if especially if he's a newer player, right? I feel like that's the worst way to do it because, again, mag dump videos are just, they seem, funny to maybe some people, maybe at first, but at the end of the day, if you really think about it, you're out there just maliciously trying to hurt someone. Like, I get it, right? We all paid money to sling plastic at each other. So at the end of the day, like, are we really going to cry about being hit, with BBs? Of course not, right? However, there is a limit to what that is considered, or what is considered really appropriate, right? Even for the game. I mean, there's a reason why HPA players have such a scrutiny facing it, and I genuinely feel bad for them too, because there's more players who play with honor and integrity, just like the rest of us, who also happen to use HPA, than there are players who like to go ahead and mag dump. And they might be using an HPA system as well. It kind of gives them a bad name, right? Because when you think mag dump videos, you think DSG builds, you think HPA guns or HPA setups, and it's really unfortunate, right? Because I've seen plenty of cheaters and plenty of toxic players who don't use HPA setups, but it just kind of adds, it just makes it so much worse when you see the guy who's just mag dumping and they are using an HPA or a DSG build, right? It just sucks, and I hate videos like that. I genuinely wish people didn't watch them. I get why people watch them because it's clickbaity, right? But at the end of the day, if you guys are watching this right now, for everyone who's tuned in, I'm going to ask you guys, do yourselves a favor and do Airsoft a favor. Do the Airsoft community a favor. Stop watching those videos or give them a thumbs down. Straight up, just give them a thumbs down, honestly, because I personally fucking hate mag dump videos, DSG justice videos. They're just not, they're not cool. At the end of the day, they're not cool. They're not fun for anyone. And they create a bad name for the Airsoft community, and that's the last thing we need right now. We already just barely got by those Airsoft regulations. Yeah, we just barely were able to First of all, we barely noticed it, right? It was thankfully we noticed it just in time, and we're able to put a hold on it. But even then, right? It very well could have passed. Right? And that's the last thing we needed. We need less scrutiny on Airsoft as a whole, right? All right, but moving forward. Jin the Mad Viking, restock on Maple Leaf AG, Hop Tensioner, OEM Solid Edition. Jin the Mad Viking, just like anything else when it comes to restocks, it's really going to depend on when our distributors can go ahead and get it and when the manufacturers are able to send it to us, right? Because if it were up to us, we would be restocked on everything like that, right? We would just get it like the next business day, right? Or maybe the next week. But a lot of times they do take time to manufacture and then send them out over the water, and then they have to clear customs, and then they have to be sent out to the distributor, and then they make it to us. It's a big, long process, unfortunately. But as soon as we get them, we will, again, they're going to be on the website. They're going to show available now. Or if anything, Jim, make sure to go ahead and set it to email me or notify me when in stock. You'll get emailed when it's back in. This one comes from Hung Moo Studios. Also, howdy from other Airsoft homies here in New Zealand. Hey, what's going on, man? Our club members are big fans of Airsoft GI. Hey, it's good to know that we have an international audience, right? I like to call Cisco Mr. Worldwide. But thank you, man. No, it's really, really cool. How is the Airsoft club? You said you have club members, so there's more than a few of you guys. How is the scene really in New Zealand? I thought you guys were under the same scrutiny, right? For as Australia, right, where Airsoft basically just wasn't a thing. Same thing with gel blasters and stuff. But let me know how it's like. What it's like. Taking a sip of my drink here. And before anyone asks, no, it's not alcohol. It's literally lemonade mixed with LaCroix. All right, so Jellybean Went Rogue asks, is the Elite Force 1911 actually good? Yes. Yes, it is. I mean, again, also, Jellybean, it really depends on, like, who you're asking, right? For some people who want to get into, like, crazy upgrades and customization, yeah, I would say the Elite Force 1911 might not be the best option overall. Like, it's not the easiest to upgrade comparatively to a TM-based High Kappa or 1911, right? But with that said, the 1911, like, Elite Force 1911, the TAC or the regular, the CO2, like, 1911 that you get is a fantastic sidearm, right? Let's go ahead and pull it up. Right? No matter which version you get, it's all going to be the same thing, essentially. Just a matter of which externals you get and which color, right? Oh, they're on a shocker deal. Fuck. Dude, guys, they're on a shocker deal. If you guys didn't know, there are a ton here. Let's pull them up, right? Go to sale, hit the sale tab on our website. You can see all these freaking things that are on sale right now. Dude, this is fucking good. G&G's on a shocker deal. I was shocked at that. It looks like the classic armies got in as well. Fuck. Dude, that is insane. Right? There's so much good shit. That VFC discounted. What? G&G? Some more WeTex as well. But yeah, back into your question. The Elite Force 1911s, yeah, they're dope. They're dope. Let's pull up this one, right? Just a straight black one. Right? These are awesome, right? If you've ask any player that's been playing for quite a while, myself included, because I've been playing for, I'm gonna say 13. It might be 14. 13 years, right? This gun is freaking dope, right? It's a great sidearm. It works. CO2 powered. It's got a nice kick to it. Pre-threaded outer barrel, so you can go ahead and put on any sort of trace unit of your choice, or mock suppressor, if you're into that. Lower accessory rail. These things are dope. These things are really, really dope. I absolutely love these. Alright, guys, let's say I want to go and give another couple of shout-outs to my man Brewer. He got himself the 5 entries. Stitch got himself the 5 entries. Brewer again with another 5 entries. And it looks like Stitch again with another 5 entries. Brewer again with another 5 entries. And Ronald with another 5 entries. But looks like Alex got himself 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. Guys, you can ask Brewer himself. He's in the live chat right now. Brewer is a longtime watcher and supporter of GI, and he is in the records as is. He's literally in the GI record books as one of the biggest prize pot winners, right? $4,150. And I was there the day that he won it. Absolutely fucking mad lad. Has the grace of God blessing him, right? So he may very well be the next winner, but you never know. He's lost many times. He's only won that one, right, when it came to the actual shopping spree giveaway. He's won other stuff, but man, oh man, you guys can be the next Brewer. You guys can be the next big winner, but all it takes is an order. Make sure that you take advantage of all these promos we have going on, especially the Independence Day mystery box where you can get 10 entries, or get yourself an airsoft gun that's $100 more and also get the 10 entries. You don't want to miss out. But yeah, I ran one of these guys, and I still have one. I still have mine, and I'll take it out to a Milsim event, and they work great. Magazines are available, and if you break any of the internal parts, don't worry. Like, their OEM replacement components are available in repair kits, and we sell them too. Granted, they sell out very quickly because guys will buy them in bulk, but you can definitely go ahead and replace parts as you need to, because at the end of the day, all airsoft guns, no matter how expensive, at some point or another, parts are going to wear down, things are going to break, and it's important to be able to have the parts available for you. And thankfully, this is one of those options that I can highly recommend. It's a little bit heavier than maybe some other options, but honestly, I like that. I would give it a recommendation. Blackout Gaming, I answered that one already. Okay. Ronald Hoover, what happened to your car? Loss of power. Honestly, I'm not too fucking sure what happened. Yeah, I'm not 100% certain. I thought it was like the mass airflow sensor or maybe the air filter, right, that might be going on, but they all look fine. I don't know what happened. It literally just, like, I'm literally trying to accelerate down the street that connects to the on-ramp for the freeway, and it just, like, it just started, like, it just slowly lost in power no matter how much I was hitting the accelerator. So I don't know what the fuck. I mean, it's happened before. And it was the mass airflow sensor that I believe that was last time that happened, like 2 years ago. But, I mean, granted, like, it's fine. It was time to get it serviced anyway, So I'm just hoping, because I have a good in with my mechanic, that he'll be able to go ahead and cut me a deal. You know what I mean? All right, let's see here. This one comes from Baba Yawa. Do you have shipping to Philippines? We do ship internationally. I believe we shipped to the Philippines before. However, when it comes to shipping, what I usually say is to make sure that you are actually reading all of your country's laws and regulations whenever it comes to airsoft replicas or importing set items into the country, right? It's just a smart thing to do to know exactly like, okay, what's allowed, what isn't allowed, what can I do, what can't I do, right? It's just a smart idea to do that overall, right? Because here's the thing, we can ship it out. We got no problem with shipping it out, right, to ourselves. But once it leaves, our hands and it's in the shipper's hands and it goes into customs, that's it, man. Whatever happens, happens. Like at the end of the day, we're not in charge of, regulating what gets imported into your country. So just make sure that you have a clear understanding of what is allowed, what isn't allowed. And then we shouldn't have any problems. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing. Because if it does, for whatever reason, end up having to make its way back, where it can't be shipped to you and ends up shipping back to us, the buyer is going to have to spend the money on the return shipping as well. Because again, we did our part of made sure that we shipped it out. It's up to you guys to make sure that you guys know what you are ordering and what's allowed. Now, with that said, I haven't heard of any issues shipping to Philippines yet. So there's that. Noah asks, what days are your operations? Do you guys do stuff on Saturdays and Sundays? Sundays we are closed, Noah, like I said earlier. But what days are we open? Monday through Friday we are open from 11 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then on Saturdays we're open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. But that is only the storefront staff. Usually I'm in on Saturdays. So is Justin. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just the storefront that's operational on Saturdays. Make sure. Chris Pollard says, sub, just bought the Lancer Tactical Gen 3. Can't wait. Hey, man, congratulations. You're going to be absolutely ecstatic with that. Just make sure I'm not missing. All right, cool. I think we should be good. All right, cool. Let's scroll down to the most recent questions. Damn, there's a few. All right. Machine FG asks, what is a good starting gas pistol in AEG M4 for someone who is wanting to do milsims? That is actually a very good question, Machine FG. Guys, make sure that if you are asking a question, make sure you put the letter Q in front of your question. That way it's a lot easier for me to spot. All right, let's see here. All right, so good starting gas pistol in AEG M4 for someone that's starting out in milsim. I mean, technically speaking, like any gas pistol or any like AEG M4 could theoretically be a good starter, right? It all depends on what it is that you're looking for, what it is that you're hoping for. If you're looking for a good like sidearm to carry on you, I have it pulled up here. The Elite Force 1911 CO2 power, those are solid, those are good, right? I got no issues about it. All right, that's one option that I would highly recommend. But you can also, if you want to save yourself a little bit of money too, and get yourself something that's a little bit easier, I would say to find replacement parts for, a little bit more accessible with other brand magazines. Usually, what I would say is, yeah, why not? Or actually, Army Armament is a solid brand. Their stuff is TM compatible, so you can find upgrade components for them fairly easily. If you were looking for something on a really, really like tight budget, I would say go with something like this, right? If you were on a really, really, really tight budget, something like that would be pretty dope, right? Armament R31 1911. This is a classic 1911A1, right? That you get. Again, 100% TM compatible, so you can upgrade the shit out of this, right? And it's $76, right? Under $100. That's, especially in today's economy, that's actually pretty damn good, honestly. But if you wanted something a little bit more modern, something with, a little bit more customization options, what I would say would be to pick up maybe, let's see here, let's take a look at this. Yeah, maybe pick up an R28 1911, something like this, right? Lower accessory rail, right? Pretty standard 1911, just a little more modernized, right? Something like this for $81.99. That's actually really cool. That's actually a really dope price as well. Again, you're still getting a solid 1911, again, which is one of the most upgradable and easiest pistol platforms to work on for gas blowbacks. There's other options for this as well. If you want to get something even cooler than that, what I would say would be, in my opinion, is the coolest would be this guy, the R32, right? Very, very comfortable. Again, standard 1911 profile, but you are going to be getting the fiber sights instead. You're getting a little bit more rubberized grips on here. Extended magazine base plate. Like, it's just cool. It's just a cool looking pistol. Works great. You can find mags for these very, very easily. Again, it takes any standard TM single stack style 1911 magazine, which we sell those. very available everywhere in large amounts too. And it's discounted right now. Normally it's 101. It's actually discounted for $94.39. Again, that's a damn good price. That's a damn good price. All right. You can go with pretty much any of those pistols, and that would be like my picks. Now, if you're talking about like M4s, there are a lot of different budgets that you can go with and a lot of different models, right? Depending on the budget. But for me, if you're just doing like, you really want to do that sort of like Milsim aesthetic, right? You can't go wrong with like a pre-built like Mark 18, right? That's kind of like a solid like platform style or like M4 AR style or configuration that's very, very popular in the Milsim scene. I've done like several Milsim events, and that's like one of the most popular configurations is either like the 416, the Mark 18, and those are like the two top most, right? You will see a couple. I think third would probably be like the Block 2 setup, right? The normal carbine length, and a lot of stuff in between. But generally, the Mark 18 and like the 416s are like the two most popular, like M4 or like AR kind of style. The 416 is not really an AR, but still, you know, it's still the two most popular, I would say, NATO-based rifles that you'll typically see players will use. So for me, what I would say would be LT31. The bronze one's a little, but that's fine. You get the black one, right? LT31 Raider. It's a Gen 2, right? I think solid Gen 2 internals. Again, fully upgradable. Rotary style hop chamber. True quick change spring system. You are getting a battery and charger with this guy. Again, it's not the best battery and charger in the world, but it's enough to get you started. Personally, I would swap it out for a LiPo battery, but you can rock with it if you want to. And it does have the metal rail system. This is the correct style, almost like Daniel Defense style Mark 18 rail system, which is really, really dope, right? When I was a kid playing and I wanted to go to get my Mark 18, I had to spend $130 for the Mad Bull officially licensed rail system, right? $130 just for the rail system. That's not including the gun, right? And then, of course, I had to build out the internals. And then Lancer comes out with this bad boy, and I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, it makes it so easy. It genuinely does make it super easy. Right, and like I said, and even if you're not a fan of like the internals, you can upgrade it. It's just using a standard version 2 gearbox. It just also happens to be a true quick change, which makes it way more convenient to work on. Right, that would be like my number one pick. Another one you can go with, I think that's pretty cool. ML10. ML10's another one that I would probably say, hey, actually in a Performance Plus package, that'd be pretty dope too. Yeah, I'd probably say the ML10 ECS. The Classic Army Skirmish Series is going to be another one of my favorites just because, again, they have the ECS programmable trigger unit. So you can program it to shoot 3-round bursts, 5-round bursts, semi-lock it, and a number of different like variations. And it's fucking cheap. And it's easy. It's like one of the easiest like freaking MOSFETs to like to work with. It's so easy to program. And it's on sale too. Normally $237, $213.98. Order this and you get 10 inches in the shopping spree giveaway. I'm just saying, you know, it's over $100. But with that said, I want to go ahead and show something off to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and show this off. Hold on. Boss man sent me something. I wanted to show it off to you guys. Take a look at this, because this is okay. So you guys know that if you guys have been keeping up with the new products page, right? You guys know that there is a new R15 that is available. The R15 Mod 0, right? The Mod O, if you will. Just like look at this. Take a look at that bad boy. Right? That is absolutely freaking fire. That's cool, man. Like that is absolutely fucking bananas. Right? Again, I love the Picatinny end cap that they're gonna have, like the Mod O is gonna get right out of the box, right? And went ahead and put on a that just looks cool. Like this looks absolutely banging, right? With a T1 on there, it doesn't really need much, right? And for those that are wondering why does it have this, it actually comes included with the black like muzzle brake on there. I just thought that was kind of cool that they included that in there. Again, you guys know, and I've said this before, that the Zion Arms R15 is one of the best bang for your buck high-end AEGs that you can get on the market, right? Because you're getting so much value. That is literally the one word that can describe it all. It gets so much value right out of the box. And there's a lot of guys that already own R15s. You can ask them too. They're very happy with the performance of their R15, right? You get the Nebula MOSFET pre-installed, 603 Type 4 inner barrel, rotary style hop chamber, right? And again, that beautiful finish, right? This high-end civilian looking like AR, right? It looks cool. But again, we heard what you guys wanted with the Picatinny end cap, so you could put like maybe a different side folding stock, what have you. Again, it's a cool option. Now, I won't lie, this does limit the battery space, but thankfully Zion Arms does make a battery specifically for it. It's on the website. It's very easy to get, right? So there you go. That's another option that I would say if you guys are in the market for maybe something a little nicer for yourself and you want to take advantage of the promo we have going on right now, that's an option I would highly recommend you check out. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anything. So hopefully Machine FG, though, that answers your question. Again, those are just a few recommendations that I would go ahead and give. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Goose VR, why are so many people mod? We've had a few mods, guys that like to again, that they are part of the Mayo Gang, man. They have been longtime supporters of Airsoft GI, really helping us spread the word of like GI itself, and of course, like getting a good image for Airsoft out there in the public. And yeah, that's why we trust them as mods. And there's quite a few of them. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, he's a two-time shopping spree winner and giveaway winner, among other wins. Yes, that's right. Brewer, man, you've won so much shit. So much shit. Okay, Blackout Gaming asks, are gas blowbacks good in the cold? I mean, they can still, like, function in the cold, right, if that's what you mean. But, like, when it's cold, like, the gas efficiency is just not there, right? That's why you'll always hear us say, like, summer weather is gas blowback weather, right? You're always going to be way more efficient. You're going to be shooting a lot more consistent, a little bit hotter as well. Colder weather, no, it's going to go down, which is why typically for like Milsim events, I normally recommend, I mean, you can definitely go with a gas rifle if you want for a Milsim event, right? Boaz is able to do it, but he has a lot of tricks. He has to pull up a lot of tricks out of his sleeve in order to make sure that the gun is running nice and efficiently. Normally, we recommend, typically, if you're going to be doing a Milsim event, on my personal team, we usually say go with an AEG because it's prone to less issues in the middle of a match, right? Especially because we do sometimes play in the cold. All right, want to go ahead and give another shout out to Joshua. He got himself another 5 entries. Stitch got himself another 5 entries. Samuel got himself another 5 entries. And Ashley got themselves 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. They took advantage of the promos we have going on. Guys, make sure you look at all these promos right here. All these. You guys can take advantage of all of these and make sure that you have as many entries as you possibly can into the next shopping spree going on this Thursday for $1,200. You don't want to miss out. Take advantage of this. Remember, we're all airsofters. We all need BBs and green gas, right? This $50 promo, easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? All you got to do is pick up some BBs, pick up some green gas, maybe even pick up some batteries and chargers, right? That's all you got to do. At the end of the day, that's really all you got to do, and you will be getting those 5 entries in the shopping spree giveaway. However, if you want to go ahead and maybe increase those odds even more, I would say go ahead and pick yourself up an airsoft gun, right? That's $100 or more. $100 or more, and you'll be getting 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's see here. Make sure... Guess what's good in the cold? That answered that question. Make sure. Stitch, 14. Okay, 14. I've been playing for 14. Thank you, Stitch, for reminding me. I don't know, man. Sometimes at a certain point, you just kind of forget, right? It's kind of like forgetting your age. Like, I judged, was it DJ? No, I judged Chef, right? They're like not remembering how old he is. But honestly, I'm a hypocrite because at the end of the day, like, I sometimes forget too. All right, let's see here. This comes from Ronald Hoover for Well MB13. What style inner barrel from Unicorn? I know the length will be 455mm gas blowback or VSR. For that one, for the Well MB13, I'm actually not too sure whether or not that is actually following the standard, well, then again, GBB VSR. The VSR is the GBB spec, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that should be the same specification anyway. Whether you ask, I would say whether or not it's actually following the, I believe it is, but go ahead and DM me directly or DM us directly so that we can go ahead and double check for you on that one, because I would need to make sure that the Well MB13 is actually following the same like cutout and shape and that it'll actually work for it, for the VSR anyway. Okay. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's see here. Hey, Dark Dread, I didn't know you were in here, man. What's going on, bro? What's going on? Okay, this one comes from CJ Spartan 225. What optics do you recommend? Well, CJ Spartan 225, it ultimately depends on what style of play that you're going to be playing. I don't know. I don't know why I couldn't think of the other word. It ultimately depends on what style of play that you are going to be using, right? Also, what environment you're going to be in, that, and also what gun is going to be put on too. Because at the end of the day, those are going to be like I feel the three biggest factors that'll determine not just optic, but also what other accessories or pieces of equipment you might need, right? So, for example, right, let's just take a look at some optics, right? Take a look at some optics. Go accessories. Red, green dot sights, right? Now, if you were going to be playing, say, close range, maybe to like medium range engagements, right? Like typically something under 100 feet, right? 100 feet at most, and even then I would say probably less. I would say stick with a red or green dot sight, right? Something that doesn't offer any sort of magnification, right? Just because I feel like it's a lot easier and faster to get like nice fast target acquisition as opposed to like something that you have to like, oh, they're this far and you have to aim and adjust and everything. I feel it's a lot easier to have just a simple red dot for that type of situation, right? However, that again, like I said earlier, that is for faster target acquisition if you're playing in a CQB sort of play style, or maybe you're at like sort of medium range engagements, right? You're not going to be sitting all the way in the back, right? Trying to get like headshots from across the map. Can you do it? Sure. Absolutely. Sure, you can. If your skills and your gun are tuned for that specific type of like play, then absolutely. Who am I to stop you? But with that said, I don't usually recommend these types of optics for those purposes. For that, I would actually say maybe going with something with a little bit more magnification. If you're going to be playing more of like, say, mid-range to long-range engagements, right? Usually I would say go with, say, something like, you can just type in short dot. Something like a short dot, an LPVOA. All right, something along those lines, right? Something like this, right? Something with variable magnification, like that's always like very, very nice, right? Something maybe if you want to have illumination, that's another option as well. But again, you can consider that whether that's something that you actually want or not, right? We actually have one. This is a very popular optic that we sell. Right, our illuminated rifle scope with mounts, and it comes good with the mounts as well. That's another style that I would look at. Personally, I usually go with any sort of like red dots that offer a larger sight picture, or I'll go along with this one. And yes, I know it's expensive. I also don't care because I genuinely enjoy this style of optic, right? I genuinely think that the LCAN style looks cool and they work great and they offer 1 to 4 times magnification. It's not like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like it's either 1, flip a switch, and it goes straight to 4, which for me, for my purposes and for the way I play, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I need. But again, there are many different optics for what you could be using and for what your play style is, right? In fact, dare I say, there's actually a lot of players that don't even need optics in the first place, right? A lot of indoor players, they'll put an optic on for looks, but at the end of the day, they're not really using their optic. They're shooting off the bore, right? And they're using a tracer unit to, again, like sight in where exactly their shots are going and have it zeroed and dialed in. And again, it also helps for cheater checking. It also helps, again, just to see the trajectory of your BBs because, again, it's a tracer unit. So you're using tracer BBs so you can see exactly where they're going. There's no confusion about like, oh, I think it went over here. No. You can clearly see where it's going. So, yeah, that's typically what I would recommend. When you restocking on MCB for round people, as soon as the distributor gets it, Fidel, then we can go ahead and get it. Same thing, DJ, when y'all getting an Atlas Custom 1930 stock, restock, or Airsoft Artisan. When Atlas Custom decides to restock, again, when we can go ahead and get more. Should make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, this one comes from Stitch. Will 20BD get a little more time along with Code Gear that got extended? Code Gear did get extended. 20BD? I'm not sure if 20BD got extended. Let me double check here. I know Code Gear for sure did get extended, but I'm not too sure about 20BD. I'll get back to you on that one. Stitch, I'll hit you up on that one. I don't believe it did. I know that coupon code Gear did. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Darktree, hey Isaias, do GVR rifles have issues hitting the distances of AEGs or HPA units? If they're tuned right, no, because we actually, if anything, GBs, it's because Bossman said it himself. When we did a lot of testing with like the unicorn inner barrels last Friday, and we used an MWS, we used an MGC4 Mark II, and we have seen them with WeTechs as well. But yeah, if you take an MWS with a Wii open bolt like M4, for example, slap in the unicorn upgrades, and you can shoot like past 100 yards. It was crazy the range that we were getting with it, right? And it's not like, okay, yeah, it hit it and it just barely tapped it, because at a certain point, I actually volunteered to be the test dummy. But even at that range, I was still able to feel like a solid impact. Like, it didn't hurt as much as if I were like obviously like super close. Yeah, for sure. But at the end of the day, I was still able to feel it through like shoes, through my pants, through my shirt, and even like it made a nice satisfying clink when Boaz was eventually able to get a headshot on me. But yeah, they can shoot well past 100 yards, man. Like, it was dope. It was crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, Airsoft info. Will y'all ever expand to East Coast? Yeah, I would like us to, for sure. Here's the thing. Expansion always sounds nice, right? But again, it's a lot of work and a lot of prep to get to that point to expand, right? There's a lot of work that goes into that. But is that something that we could do in the future? Yeah, absolutely. I don't see why not in the future. Why, if we have the support of the Mayo Gang, and again, we have the support of the Airsoft community, right? If they want us to go and open up an East Coast one, and if we have the means to do it, then sure. That would only benefit like everyone else, right? But again, we need to see the support there in order for us to go ahead and do it, right? We're not just going to go ahead and open up and then have no one show up there as well. We need to see that there's actually like a demand for it, and there's going to be, again, we are a business. There has to be profit in it for us. Where's my straw? There it is. Okay, this one comes from Droid Bait 2010. My dad wants to get a good first airsoft gun, and a gun with lots of rail space, 14mm counterclockwise threading, and it to be smaller than an M4 but bigger than a pistol. He has zero budget. Okay, well, Droid Bay 2010. If you were it depends on what you mean by rail space, right? If he means, because again, there are many different rails that exist out there, but I'm not sure if he's like specifically looking for one type of rail system or not. But, with that caveat in mind, most airsoft guns, M4s included, of course, right? Most airsoft guns typically are going to be using a 14mm counterclockwise thread size and direction, so that's going to be very easy to find, right? Smaller than an M4, but bigger than a pistol. It depends, right? Because if we're talking about, like, which M4 specifically, are we talking about just, like, the standard M4 carbine, like the regular length that we normally deal with, or we're like, what is it, 14.5-inch barrel, right? And like, as we're looking for like a PDW, right? There can be many different things that we can go with. But for me, honestly, I would probably say if you're looking for something a little more compact, but not like super small, I would say maybe one of these bad boys. I would say maybe an R15, right? It's going to be smaller than like your carbine length, like M4 for sure, right? It is going to be using that sort of like 10-inch configuration, a little similar to like a Mark 18 kind of length, right? But this one is not going to be using a full-size stock. This one is going to be using, again, just a Picatinny end cap, so it's going to be nice and short up in the rear. However, if you did want to put a stock on there, we do sell other options as well that just have to mount onto the Picatinny. As far as rail space, yeah, he's got the entire top receiver and the top of the rail system, the M-LOK rail that here, to mount whatever it is that he wants. In addition, there is M-LOK segments there as well. So again, there's plenty of rail space as well. That's one option I would recommend if you were looking for something that's shorter than your standard carbine length, I suppose, right? But again, that's just one option that I would say. I guess it depends ultimately on what it is that you're like, what style or what sort of aesthetic that he likes, right? But again, if you're asking me like just out of the butt, you can also just go with the regular R15 too here. We'll just pull that up as well. Yeah, right? If you want something super small, what I would probably say is probably pick one of these guys up, right? See, do I have any? Yeah, let's see. Let's do the gray one. Let's do the gray one. Why not, right? You get the R15 short barrel version, the SBR. That's a super short barrel. You still get plenty of rail space, like because you get some M-LOK segments here. You get plenty of top rail space as well. You do get a larger battery compartment compared to the Mod Zero with this version, because again, you do have a little bit more in the buffer tube. But again, it's a regular stock or a buffer tube, so you can swap out the Delta stock that you have there. I personally like it, but you can get one that has a much larger battery compartment. It's entirely up to you or your father, I should say. And the R15s are dope because you don't have to do anything to them. Like literally, as soon as you get them, they are good to play. Like they are competitive right out of the box, right? That's one option I would say. If you wanted another option that I would highly, highly recommend, if budget wasn't an issue, and you wanted like some really, really good ass performance, I would probably say go with the R15 Performance Plus 2, right? This guy's going to come included with a upgraded motor, unicorn barrel setup as well. So it's going to have the unicorn barrel, the hop-up bucking, and the nub swapped out for the unicorn one as well. So it's going to be really fucking dope. Bossman actually got to use one of these during Operation Coastal Front during BB Wars a couple months back, and he was hitting targets well off, man. Like he was shooting targets way towards the end of the map. It was actually impressive, right? And we have to raffle one away. These things are freaking dope. So if you were looking for something that, again, is like the best kind of all-arounder, it's still shorter than a standard M4, I would probably say the R15 is actually a good option for you. But again, there are other options too. That if you're just looking for sheer performance, that's probably what I would go with. Okay, make sure. Okay, answered that one already. Okay, can an order of $70 get more chances than a $20 order? Airsoft info. Yes. Right now, any order that's $50 or more, right, placed before 9:30, we're getting 5 chances. If you place a $20 order, you're only going to be getting 1 chance. That's still a chance, don't get me wrong. That's still a valid chance to win the shopping spree giveaway. However, if you're spending $70, right, because it's meeting that $50 minimum requirement, you'll be getting the 5 entries, for sure. Now, if you're spending money on an airsoft gun, I would say maybe bump it up to $100. That way you get the 10 entries. You get 10 chances of winning. Cool Cow. What is your favorite site for high kappa? Iron sights. I say that, right? But like at the end of the day, like I'm not the biggest high kappa person in general, right? Usually for me, like when it comes to pistols, I'm actually more of an M9 guy than I am a high kappa. That's just me personally, right? I'm more of an M9 guy. So hell, if I had to pick between 1911s and high kappa, I'd rather go with the 1911 just because I like the aesthetics more. With that said, I do respect the high kappa immensely for what it is, and if I had to pick, it's probably the ones you get, honestly, out of the Vorsk or Raven pistols, right? Let's see, Vorsk Airsoft, right? We tap that in. There are so many high kappas that they offer, right, with the pre-installed like red dot already on there, and it's a good quality like red dot on there as well. These small little like RMRs that you get, I actually prefer it mounted like this directly to the slide as opposed to like on like the mount that you have to drill into the frame itself. I get it, it's a stagnant mount or static mount and it's not moving anywhere, right? But at the end of the day, I still prefer the aesthetic of this. I think it just looks really, really cool. Again, that's a personal preference. You guys are more than welcome to your own as well, but I think that the ones that you get on the Vorsk and Raven pistols are super dope. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Airsoft with another good question. What's the best scope for long-range M4? I'd probably say if you're trying to go for like a longer range, you could go with like a rifle scope, right? Again, it's all going to be individual preference, what you like, right? You could go with, say, something like a rifle scope, right? We have plenty of those. A lot of these guys can go from like 3 to 9, right? Magnification, right? It's pretty insane. But personally for me, again, I genuinely think going with short dot. Going with like a short dot, again, this is like seeing Cisco's builds, right? Because he loves his short dots. He absolutely loves his short. That is quintessential Cisco setup. Going with like a short dot like one of these guys, right? Slants Tactical Illuminated IR Rifle Scope with mounts. This thing is dope. I've actually used one of these, and these are really, really good. I can't say enough good things about them, and they're actually at a pretty affordable price, honestly. Like all things considered. That, and again, like if it's definitely more than $50, you're gonna be getting those 5 engines in the shopping spree giveaway. But that'll really help pair with like SPR or like longer range, like sort of kind of DMR-esque builds. That'll definitely help out a lot. But again, you can also go with like a full rifle scope if you really wanted to. Okay, answered that one already. All right, cool. I think, yeah, we should be caught up. All right, let's scroll down. Whew, allergies are going crazy right now. My dog is shedding. Okay, make sure. Okay, Bread Savage, would you suggest the Performance Plus R15 for CQB? Absolutely, I would. I mean, okay, here's the thing. Do you, for CQB, like indoor fields, do you absolutely need, like, you know, a tighter bore barrel, you know, like something like super, like accurate, like shooting lasers, right? Technically, no, right? Because typically in indoor fields and CQB environments, you are shooting distances that are fairly close, right? And distances that airsoft guns should have no issue with reaching whatsoever, right? Typically, I'm just saying typically, right? Now, with that said, who's to say that you're only going to be playing CQB, right? The performance, or rather the R15 as a whole, like any of the R15s you get, whether it be the SBRs, or even if you wanted to go even like small, like the PW9s, right? Go with that pistol caliber. You could, like, you are going to be getting a quick change spring system, right? You're going to be getting a quick change spring system regardless of which one you end up getting. And the R15 itself is like, I just feel like it's one of the best value AEGs that you can honestly get, like all things considered, comparing high-end guns to high-end guns, right? I think it is worth it because the Performance Plus is just going to be shooting like absolute, like I said, it's going to be shooting absolute laser beams, dude. It's so fucking cool. It's so accurate. It's just nice to have, right, to know that, okay, I know that even if I wanted to shoot across the map in a CQB environment, I could reach the other side, no problem, really accurately. So I would say Bread Savage, absolutely it is worth it. Chicken Man 07, how do you tell if it's Shocker? Okay, so that's a fairly easy question. We can answer that. When you hit the sales page, right, there's going to be all the discounted items. If it has a timer like right here, right, it'll say daily Shocker deal. If it shows that, that means that it is indeed a Shocker deal. It's very easy to see. Yeah, nice and big. And again, the counter is continuously going. Right now you have, let's see, 31 minutes. Yeah, it's not a lot of time. So make sure you take advantage. If you guys were considering picking up a Shocker deal, now is the time, because again, if it's an airsoft gun that's $100 or more, you get those 10 entries in the shopping spree giveaway. 20th won't work for Shockers or mystery box. Yeah, mystery box, the discounts will not apply towards Shocker deals because that is already the lowest that they can go. Same thing with mystery boxes. We already don't make money off the mystery boxes, just so you guys know. So there's no way that we can go ahead and discount them further. But everything else, yeah, should work. Make sure I'm not missing anything. What is the FPS of the R15? Good question, DroidBay2010. The R15 should be shooting at like 380 to 390 FPS. However, again, it is a quick change spring system, so you can very easily swap out that spring, so you can be shooting whatever your field requires. What gear set? This comes from Pernoxuin. What gear set do you recommend? 12-1 or 13-1 for a SEMA M12? Trying to stay with 400 FPS and a good trigger response. So I'm not too sure what the SEMA M12 actually looks like, but it's typically for better trigger response. I mean, I personally would say 12-1s, but I mean, I have like a 12-1 setup on one of my guns, and I also have a 13-1 setup on another one of my guns. I'll be honest, like, I can't really fucking tell at the end of the day, right? Between the two, I can't really fucking tell. I guess ultimately, because I also have the same motor setup too. It's also going to come down to like what motor setup you have on there as well. Sometimes if you have like an ETU or like a MOSFET that has like options like pre-cocking, that can help too if you're talking about like that initial first shot, right? Yeah, that's there's a lot of different variables. It's not going to ultimately come down to just the gear set, right? It's also going to depend on everything else in there as well. Usually going with like a torquier motor can help with that as a lot, right? That instant trigger response. But the downside is if your trigger or if your motor is like too torquey, right? And it's not going to mesh well when you have like those lower ratio gear sets sometimes, right? It just ultimately really depends on what sort of like setup we have going on overall, right? Because it's going to be very slow. If say you wanted to go with the 12-1 build, right? You're going to be getting like a pretty good rate of fire. I mean, obviously assuming you shimmed it, right? Less resistance, right? But you should be getting a fairly fast rate of fire. But again, that's also depending on the motor that you have too, because if it's too torquey, you know, it could be a very slow motor as well. Yeah, it's torquey, it's got a lot of power, and it can pull back that spring, but it's not going to be very fast. So that's a problem you could run into. So you make sure. Okay, this one also comes from Pernoxwin. What motor do you recommend for KWA T10 and VFC Avalon? Okay, so for the KDBoy T10, nothing. It is perfect as is. Leave it alone. And that's my honest opinion. The T10 doesn't need anything. The T10 does not need anything. The VFC Avalon, the ETU that you get in the Avalons it's okay, but I know it's also not the best ETU out there. I've seen better. Usually what I would say for the VFC Avalon is like, keep it stock, take out the bucking inner barrel, and then change out the ETU as well. That would probably be the two that I would probably swap out. Or I guess multiple. Let's see, bucking inner barrel hops. That'd be the 4 that I would recommend you swap out: bucking inner barrel, hop up nub, and then probably the ETU. You can go all the way then at that point if you really want to, but as far as the T10 is concerned, I don't really recommend changing out anything. It's perfectly set up as is, right? Like, it genuinely doesn't like really need anything at all, outside of maybe again like a better inner barrel. But again, swap it up for the unicorn, and that's it. Like, you got a perfectly good rifle set up for you, right? All right, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, this one comes from Doctor. I can't read. If I ordered a new gun today, I get 10 entries for Thursday. 10 entries for Thursday's raffle. Correct? Yes, absolutely. Is Doctor. You will get 10 entries in the shopping spree giveaway if you buy an airsoft gun that's $100 or more within the time span of this live stream. So it is today, yes, but it has to be within the time span of this live stream. So it has to be from when the stream started, 7:30 p.m. Right? That's when the stream started till 9:30. Right? In literally 1 hour. Well, now 59 minutes. In about 59 minutes, when the stream ends, if you can place an order for a $100 airsoft gun within that time frame, you will be getting the 10 entries for Thursday. Chris Pollard, question: would you like to expand to Canada? I mean, if it were up to us, we'd be in every single state. We'd be in every single country, right? But obviously, it's a lot more. It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder, or either I should say, easier said than done. Yeah, that's the phrase. That's the phrase. Okay, this one comes from TBDD. What's going on, man? He asks, best budget helmet. Right now, I'm using a nice tinted paint mask, but been looking into looking more realistic. Got it. No, I get the question. All right. So if you're looking for a helmet for a budget, I mean, overall, like, helmets, like, in themselves, like, are definitely, like, I'm glad they were going for, like, the look and the aesthetic more than anything, because in a practical sense, sometimes helmets are actually not always recommended. A lot of times I would say you're better off just going off with, like, a baseball cap, maybe a beanie sometimes, or, like, some type of, like, boonie cap, right? Just something to keep the sun out of your eyes, and that's lightweight. However, if you did want to go with a helmet, what's a good budget helmet? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at some helmets, why don't we? Because there are actually some helmets that you can get that are not bad. They're actually pretty cheap. Yeah, FMA, like that. These are fairly affordable. I'd recommend these. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Let's go tan. I don't know. Just that's a fairly common color. Right. FMA ACH base jump helmets. Yeah. Arc rail adapters right here. NVG mount up in the top. Looks like adjustable frame as well. Yeah, I would honestly highly recommend one of these guys. Like I $38. That's a good deal. Right? You can start accessorizing this if you wanted to. If you want to start putting some comms on there, if you wanted to put some patches on there as well, it's going to be very easy to do so. Because you can buy also helmet accessories like helmet covers as well. That's another easy thing to do. This is a fairly decent helmet to get yourself started with, right? Yeah, adjustable chin strap. Yeah, fully adjustable to your head size. I would say go with one of these, honestly. That'd probably be my suggestion if you were really on a budget. Yeah, that's... I mean, there are other helmets that you could probably get even cheaper too, but for me personally, that's probably the bare minimum that you want to look for. If you were looking for that type of helmet, there are different styles as well, though, right? There are different styles of helmets that you can go with. Like, if you really wanted to, you could go, like, real retro, right, with a Pasgit, like, replica helmet, right? And that's $25. And, hey, for what it is, it works, right? It gets the job done. And it's fairly lightweight as well, right? Again, it really also ultimately depends on what sort of aesthetic that you're going for. Usually, I would say going with like a standard bump helmet or like base jump helmet, like that's going to be pretty solid, right? You can't go wrong with one of those. Normally, what I do say though is like you can get a helmet like this, right? Like these basic helmets with the retractable visors. But what I would recommend and just like it there, right where it says the included visor is meant for aesthetic purposes. Yeah, 100%. If it has a built-in visor, that's going to be mainly for aesthetic purposes and just for looks. You are most likely not going to be allowed to play actual airsoft if you have the visor, if you're trying to use that as your actual like iPro. So make sure you get an actual set of iPro as well. Just don't rely on that. All right, before we continue, I want to go and give another shout out to Mark. Got himself 5 entries. Carlos got himself 2 orders, so that he'll be getting like double the 5 entries. And looks like Mark again with the 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. Guys, make sure that you take advantage. The guys here that I've been giving shout outs to, they're the smart ones. They absolutely know what's up. They know that these deals are real and the winnings are real, and they can absolutely have a chance at being the next big winner if they place their orders and take advantage of all the promos we have going on. So make sure you follow suit and get yourself those extra entries, and you can win $1,200. All right. Yeah, Stitch Lancer helmets are very like wallet friendly. Absolutely they are. Okay, let's keep scrolling up. This one comes from Jasmine Lozano. She asks, after so many years of playing and working in the industry, what still keeps Airsoft interesting for you? Now, this is a very, very good question. Because that's right, I've been playing Airsoft for 14 years. Playing Airsoft for 14 years. And you would expect, and especially because I've been working in Airsoft ever since 2017, so that's what, 3, 6, working for 7 years in the Airsoft industry, working for GF for 7 years. You would think that after a while you can get burned out, right? And don't get me wrong, burnout is 100% a real thing for a lot of people. But Airsoft is one of those hobbies that I feel like there are so many different facets of it, right, that still keep it interesting, right? Like if I get bored with one aspect of Airsoft, I can always just switch gears and go to another side, right? Like for a while I was just doing mainly like, okay, whatever just gets me by, right? I just wanted to get out and to get like a gun and just start playing, right? But I wanted to do something more. I wanted to form a team, and I was able to form a team, right? I wanted to do milsim specifically because that was an aspect that always interested me. And even within the milsim scene itself, there's many different facets, right? Let's say building impression. That's why I actually build a lot of impression kits. And I'm always buying new pieces of gear. I'm always looking for different pieces of equipment. Anytime we have like new products that are listed on our website, I'm always looking at like the tactical gear, right? And even the guns too. And I'm trying to see like, oh, what type of kit can I make, right? There's this new gun that we just got from this brand. I could get one of those and put it for this type of kit, right? I'm always thinking like stuff like that because that helps really keeps it interesting for me personally. But yeah, it's just the fact that there's different facets of Airsoft in itself, not just impression kits, not just PQB, not just milsim, not just regular like walk-on games. There's so many different aspects of Airsoft that it's really hard, honestly, to get bored of it, right? And then working in the Airsoft industry for this many years, like don't get me wrong, it's tough, right? It's a tough industry to like work in. Right, it requires a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication to it, right? You can't just go in it and just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, just do this and this, and I'm gonna get out of here. Like, no, like you really can't have that type of mentality when it comes to working in the Airsoft industry, right? You just can't. And for better or for worse, like I actually kind of like that, right? Because it does like require you to really hone in your craft, right? No, that's me, right? I get my start off doing customer service, and then I moved on to sales, right? Not only do I try to like sharpen up my skills as far as salesmanship and being approachable to customers, but my biggest thing in like Airsoft is I want everyone else to also have a good time. And knowing that I did my job, not just solely like making sales, right? Because even though we are a business and we have to go ahead and make money, I also just want to make sure that people that see me also have the right information too. And even if I don't have the correct like info, I will try my best to find the right info for you and make sure that I'm giving you the correct, bits of information that you need in order to be successful in Airsoft. And I don't mean like, yeah, I'm gonna be like straight killing everybody. No, I mean have fun with it, right? Have fun in Airsoft. Keep you playing Airsoft. Because the more people we have on the field, the better it is for the community as a whole. So that's my biggest thing. I want to keep people playing, and keeping people invested in the hobby makes it worth it for me, right? If I get to see like some kid, right, who really wants to play Airsoft, get their first gun, even if they don't have a whole lot of money, if I can get them something that's good, something that's going to keep them playing on the field for longer until they can save up and get something even better, right? That's the biggest accomplishment that you can have as, at least I feel that I have as a representative for Airsoft, right? Is that I got someone who didn't know much about Airsoft, getting him started, getting him something good, and making sure that he's having a fun time. That's going to be the biggest accomplishment that I can achieve. And that's what keeps it interesting for me as well. Not just beyond my own personal stuff, like my own personal collection, right? Another fine addition to my collection, General Grievous head ass, right? But no, it's just because I really want other people to have fun. And me making the experience better for other people, or me working even with like the marketing department, right? Whenever we work with Boaz or Cisco, right, or Kev, when we put out content for other people to enjoy this hobby as well and to express our love of the hobby, that also keeps it interesting for me too, right? We're going to keep moving on. Okay, this one comes from It's Doctor. Eve 9 or R15 SBR? Ooh, that's a good question. I like that one. That's a good one too. Between the two, I'm going to say R15 SBR because you do get more value out of it. Now, that's not to say that the Eve 9 is bad. Far from it. The Eve 9 is a fantastic gun. And if you really like the Eve 9, It's Doctor, I'd say go with the Eve 9. However, the R15 SBR, it just offers more, right? It just does. The Eve 9 is cool. The KDB, here, I'm gonna pull it up. Eve 9. And it's on a shocker deal, bruh. Right? Eve 9 going for $260, hella worth it. Hella worth it, right? The Eve 9 carbine 2.5, yeah, this thing is fucking dope. Even though it doesn't have an ETU or any sort of like MOSFET, it is still using switch life extenders, right? They perform great with an 11.1. They actually have pretty decent range. You are getting some PTS furniture on there and hella battery space on this bad boy specifically, right? I would say if that there's anything that the Eve 9 beats the R15 on, it's going to be battery space, but that's about it. Like, that's literally about it, right? It's just literally going to be battery space, and that's not even because of the gun itself. It's because of the fact that it's using an Eve 9, right? I would probably say that's where it has it beat. And the Eve, remember, you have to guys remember, the KWA originals were a different demographic per se, right? They were meant to be more wallet budget-friendly airsoft guns, but still offering the fantastic performance that you've known and loved from KWA, right? Like Boaz says, that's one of the reasons why we like KWA, and a lot of like, and the R15 for that matter too. They're guns that you don't have to do anything to. Again, the only thing we would do would be changing out the barrel setup, but even then, it still can reach out pretty damn far, honestly. Now, if you're comparing that to the R15 SBR, right? Move out of the way. Let's do, yeah, okay. Even the black and gold one's on a shocker deal. Damn, dude. Black and gold one on a shocker deal for $292. Oh, that's okay. Normal retail was $315. That already is worth it. It is 100% worth it, right? Because you are getting the pre-installed Nebula MOSFET, which is programmable, and it's actually very easy to program. And my favorite feature on the Nebula MOSFET actually has to be the binary trigger option. If you guys don't know what binary trigger is, you pull the trigger once, shoots. You let go of the trigger in that same motion, it'll shoot again. So, right, as fast as you can pull the trigger. It's so cool. It is so nice, right? Now, obviously, yes, it is using the Delta stock. I really like the Delta stock. I think the Delta stock looks dope, right? It's very easy to access the battery compartment, that being the buffer tube. Now, with that said, that is the only battery compartment, is going to be the buffer tube, so you are going to be a little limited, not like by much, honestly. Like, you can put a regular 11-1 stick type battery in there, no problem. Absolutely no problem. The only downside is, yeah, it's not as big as the EPS. But even then, like, you know, you could just swap it out for an EPS if you really wanted to. But I would say go for the R15 short barrel personally. But the Eve 9 is still a great gun either way. So you're not gonna like lose that much, honestly, for going with either or. It's just a matter of individual preference. Okay. Mark Pocho, any updates for BB Wars East? Not yet. Again, guys, you know that as soon as we get any sort of update for BB Wars East, we'll let you guys know. And I know that there's a lot of people that want to know like when BB Wars is going to happen, like beginning of the year, so that you guys can go and plan it out. Trust me, guys, I completely understand where you're coming from that. Yeah, I know. Like I got to plan a wedding in 2 years, man. Like you know, like I'm pretty sure, like I mentioned, like I'm due to get married in like 2 years, right? And I got to go ahead and plan that out right now, right? I got to start planning everything out like now and start like saving up money for it, because tickets are going to be, you know, expensive, but they are cheaper the further away from the actual date that you are. I totally get that, guys. And it takes a lot of planning to get it. I completely understand that. but it is a collaborative effort. You have to remember, it is a collaborative effort between the fields and also us. And a lot of times, and also the sponsors too of the event themselves, because we have to go ahead and get a sponsor out there as well. So between three different entities that have to come together and like agree to a date, sometimes it doesn't always work, or sometimes there's delays on stuff. So the minute that we find out a date for BB Wars East, we will be letting you guys know. Most likely on our social media. Probably if we get the word on it in our live stream, we'll probably let you guys know, either my stream or Cisco streams. We'll let you guys know from there. But again, as soon as we find out a date, you will know. We will let everyone know. How do people see someone peeking from across the map with no zoom? I watch Dust, but just in general. That comes from Will Wilson. That's a good question. Good eyesight. Like, at the end of the day, it really is just a matter of, like, individual eyesight. Some people, like, can see farther. Some people do have the ability to actually, like, really zero in. I'm not going to lie. I do have that a little bit. Right, like usually if you don't give me an optic, because I got used to shooting airsoft guns with when I first started, I didn't have money for accessories. I had to like get real good, like using my regular irons or just aiming off the bore and just get really good eyesight. Right, you can do it with just regular eyesight if you really focus in. The human eyes are really amazing, like piece of it's like equipment that the human body has. Like it's really good, honestly. Like you can see quite a lot. And you can get used to seeing in the dark as well. You have natural night vision, especially if you train it very well. Wasn't that a thing? Like if I remember correctly, that again, this is all just from what I hear from Justin, because apparently loves researching into like pirates, for example. The reason why pirates wore eye patches wasn't because that they were missing an eye or anything. I mean, I'm sure one of them might have been, but a lot of pirates will have an eye patch on. So whenever they go into the hull of a ship, right, whenever they go below deck and it's usually all dark, they have the eye already like trained up for seeing in pitch black, so they can perfectly see everything whenever they go inside of a low lit ship, right? That makes sense. It's the same thing for humans, right? If you just practice like seeing further ahead, you probably would get it. It's a skill that you can develop. But also using some type of like optic with magnification can also help as well. But again, it's also dependent on the person's individual skill level, and again, just how far they can see. Some people's vision are better than others. It is what it is, right? Let's see here. TBDD, it's a $50 subtotal. $50 subtotal. Okay, this one comes from Tiava. So I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. What mods would you fit? What mods would fit a K USA Klishkov USA AK? Got one in the mystery box and want to change the handguard and get a rail for optics. Pretty much any handguard that is supposed to be for that specific style of AK. So if it's, for example, this goes for any AK, right? It's an AK-74. Make sure it's handguard for AK-74, right? It's supposed to be compatible with any Lance Tacticals, of course, SEMA, TM spec style AK, right? The ones that typically break the exception as far as like handguards, from what I've seen, is usually LCT. LCT is one of those brands, for whatever, again, just slightly off. I don't know why, just different from everybody else. They're their own thing, right? At the end of the day, even their magazines are picky, and they only work with LCTs unless you modify them. Just make sure that you're getting for the right specification of the AK itself, right? So if you have the 74, whichever version, make sure it's for that one specifically, right? And they all should work. Again, some modification might be required. With AKs, it's not going to be as modular as the AR. That's just one of those things. Rail for optics. Usually for a rail for optic, that's actually an easy one. Let's see. AK side mount. See if one pops up right now. Yeah, going with something like one of these, right? Usually AKs will have this sort of like weird, almost looks like a weird bar that sticks out, a bar of like metal that sticks out on the side of the, or the left side of the receiver. What that is a little mount, so you can put one of these sort of like side rail mounts, right? So it literally just clamps on, screws in right there. Once you slide it in over this little piece of metal here, and you have, depending on the version you get, right, you'll be able to get Picatinny, right? So you can mount on different optics, like this guy, for example, right? Yeah, it all just depends ultimately on what it is that you want to do with it, and which optic is, or which side rail mount is available. We had a bunch more, but man, they all sold. The NC Star one we do thankfully still have, so you can pick one of those guys up. Goes right on top of the dust cover, so you can put an optic on. Now, the only thing to be warned now at that point, once you screw it on, you're gonna have to unscrew it in order to access the battery compartment, if the battery compartment is located above the gearbox, like a lot of AKs are. I believe most of the Klishkov USA licensed AKs are going to be top wired, so they're going to be above the gearbox, underneath the dust cover itself. So you're going to need to go ahead and remove the dust cover or remove the side rail mount, unscrew that, slide it off, then do the whole process in order to get it undone. It's not the worst in the world, but it's something you got to keep in mind. Okay, make sure I'm not missing anything. Missing anything? Doo-doo-doo-doo. When is the shopping spree? This one comes from Farmer Pickles is the Chad. Nice name. Guys, remember, if you have a question, make sure to put a Q in front of it. That way I can more easily see it. But to answer your question, Farmer Pickles is the Chad, the shopping spree giveaway is going to be going on this Thursday specifically. This Thursday. So 2 more days, and that's when we're going to host it. It's going to be with Cisco. He's going to start the live stream at 5:30. And just like me, he's going to be answering some questions, talking about new products, going over some potential promos with you guys last minute, because the deadline to enter the shopping spree giveaway is that same Thursday at 6:30. Once 6:30 hits, that is it for entries. All other orders made at that point are going to be for the following shopping spree giveaway, because at that point he's going to begin tallying up how many orders there were, all the entries, and then he's going to do the raffle itself. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, this one comes from Ryan Tilley. What type of adapter does the MGC4 Mark II come with? It's coming in the mail tomorrow, and I want to get a testing stat. Type of adapter? Do you mean type of connector? If that's so, the connector that you get out of the box is going to become pre-wired to Dean's. So make sure that your battery is pre-wired to Dean's, or you have a Dean's to Tamiya adapter for your Tamiya batteries. But yeah, honestly, tell us what you think. Honestly, I'm like super excited. I always love seeing hearing about people's first reaction when they shoot their MGC4. Right, the MGC4 Mark II is fucking dope. I love that gun. I absolutely love that gun. Video don't load, man. The Wi-Fi in my area sucks. I'm sorry, kid with guns. Sorry about that, man. I totally get that. Sometimes my Wi-Fi will give out as well. It's absolutely the worst. Okay, this one comes from Will Wilson. Thoughts on cheaper GBB pistol options? I was thinking about the ASG CZP09. Let's take a look. I don't really have any, opinions on it. No, not really opinions on it. I don't really care if it's like a lower, or a cheaper gas blowback pistol option. I don't mind it. Like, at the end of the day, if it does its job, it does its job, right? That's the whole point. Ideally, it would be cheaper, right? But obviously in this economy, fucking inflation, right? Shortage of materials. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are going to cause prices to increase. But as far as the ASG CZP09, yeah, I got no issues with it. I got no qualms with it. The few times that I have very little experience with it, but the few times that I have shot it, I was very satisfied with the performance that I got from it. I know there are plenty of guys on, oddly enough, Rust 4. Whenever I do Milsim events, there's a few guys that actually have PO9s there, and they like to rock those. But yeah, I've seen them. They look cool. And they're on a shocker deal, too. That's also really fucking crazy. But yeah, I would suggest if you like the aesthetic of the CZ stuff, then I'd say go for it. The PO9 is very popular, and it's been made for many, many years. And for good reason. It's a good pistol, right? Kind of similar to the 1911 in that regard, right? To the V-Force 1911. It's just one of those designs that's just so popular. People love it. And I can see why. Personally, is it my favorite, of the cheaper gas-blowback pistol options? No. If I had to pick one of my favorites, again, it was like I said earlier, the Army Armament 1911s. Those are dope. Another one you can also check up is Golden Eagle. 1911. Golden Eagle makes some hella cheap stuff, man. And I don't mean quality. I mean just price. Because there's stuff, I've fired it before, and I've, taken it apart. It was pretty good quality internally. Take this guy, for example. Right? Golden Eagle 3316, 1911 gas blowback pistol, right? With that aggressive meat tenderizer at the end of it, that aggressive muzzle brake, right? The Golden Eagle 1911s typically retail for $80, right? Which is already a fucking steal because they are 100% TM compatible, meaning you can upgrade the shit out of these guys, right? With whatever parts you want. But this one itself is on a shocker deal too, right? So $74.95. That is insane, right? That's actually a really good option if you want something a little bit more, kind of closer to the standard 1911 profile. Go with something like the 3322, right? All these different code names and model variations, right? They could have just stuck to a name or something. Anyway, but yeah, you get a lower accessory, full metal construction. Again, same thing where you're getting a full TM spec internal, right? Design. So it's very easy to find the upgrade parts. We sell a ton of the upgrade and OEM components for it. Magazines are going to be readily available for this bad boy. And again, it's cheap. It's absolutely cheap, right? I would say that's probably one of my favorite ones, if not my favorite cheaper pistol, next to the Army Armament brand of 1911s. Okay, this one comes from McClacky. I've been trying to find a 100% guarantee on the internet. That's already problem number one, I'm going to be honest. Whether or not a Tokamarui high cap of 5.1 magazines, green gas, propane fit my Action Army Combat Master Alpha, and any recommendations for a holster. I mean, as long as like the Combat Master is supposed to be just a standard like high kappa design, so it technically speaking should. I'm not seeing any reason why it wouldn't, unless there's anything specifically for that specific model. But I don't think I haven't heard of any sort of proprietariness for it. Now, as far as a holster, my go-to holster, you already know, right? I like to keep it cheap and simple. Ammo Max, what is it? Multi-Fit. The Ammo Max Multi-Fit holster is probably, if not, my favorite holster that we have on our website. And okay, I'm gonna just type in Ammo Max. There we go. Okay. Where is it? Multi-Fit. Oh, there you go. Yep, that's the right one. So I'm like one of these, right? Ammo Max Multi-Fit holster. We sell a ton of different mounts for these as well. If you wanted to mount this to a Molly setup, or if you wanted to get like a drop leg panel kit for it, we sell that on our website as well. These are using the same mounting system as Cytec, I believe is the actual name of the brand. So it's the exact same system, compatible with their components as well, which we also sell. But this one comes included with a paddle mount, so it just fits onto a regular belt. Very easy and fully adjustable. These two screws right here, 1, 2, those are the adjustment screws. Use the Allen key, go ahead and loosen if you need it bigger, tighten it if you need it smaller. Right? I've been able to get anything from like Glock 19. I was able to get a Deagle to fit in there, and everything literally in between. Right? Combat Master, I was able to fit in there as well. I was also able to go ahead and get like a Glock 34 to fit in here as well. Again, I got a lot of shit to fit in this thing. So that would be what I would recommend. Can I use a 12-volt universal AGM battery for an AG? I would not. I wouldn't. I mean, if the connectors are the same, could you physically do it? Yes, but I wouldn't. I would not. TB, thoughts on ASG Infinity CNC 22 to 40K, the motors? Yes. I mean, they're good motors. Again, it just depends on ultimately what it is that you want to put them in and what type of build you're trying to achieve, right? And again, also, who's installing it, right? Who's installing all these components, making sure that they're actually installed correctly. That's another thing that people seem to forget. But, I mean, I don't have any qualms with the ASG Infinity motors. I think they're cool. I think they're dope. We've used them for several of our customs before. But yeah, honestly, ultimately depends on what it is. Here's what I would say, and this goes for a lot of things, right? This is kind of just general advice that I would say out there. Go for a brand, go for certain components, upgrade parts, certain guns. Go for them because they're a good deal and because they're good quality, not because. And I feel like a lot of people they'll say oh, in this custom build, right, it has this and this and this, and they'll try to replicate it, right? But I don't know. I feel like. Some people, again, not saying that's you, TBDD, but I do feel like there are a lot of people that I have seen recently that are going for very specific parts, and I'm like, it's because you watched this video, right? And I'll ask them, and they're like, yeah, because I watched the video, and they said to go with this, right? And sometimes it's good advice. Sometimes it's not always. I would usually say do a little more research on them, but it's good that you're asking the questions about it, TBDD. I'm glad you asked the actual questions here. This is a great place to go ahead and ask it. Again, if you want to go with it, again, that's fine, but it ultimately depends on what you're trying to do with it, right? Because just going with that motor for every single type of build, and that type of mentality is really bad to have, because again, the builds that you're trying to go for might actually require a very different type of motor altogether. But if you're asking for general quality on the ASG Infinity motors, they're pretty good. I enjoy them. Make sure. Okay, Will Wilson, how many lumens should a flashlight be for CQB? Stitch, yeah, 800 plus lumens. Yeah, no, that's good. What I would say that is more important than lumens, though, and I feel like, again, another thing that people seem to overlook has actually got to be the beam itself. Like, how concentrated of a beam is it that you're actually looking for? The actual, spread that you're getting, right? I guess the actual distance that it can actually cover, right? Because there's plenty of flashlights out there that, they might not have the highest lumen count, but my God, can they reach far? Like, they can reach the other side of a fucking map, right? I've been to most of the games where I've seen guys with, their flashlight wasn't the brightest, but because the beam itself was so concentrated and fixed in one position, that's the design itself, right? Like, that was an amazing flashlight. I would have rather have that. Now, going with a high lumen flashlight, yes, is good because it can really help blind and disorientate your opponents. But what is it? Only like, I forget the exact number. Anything over like 250 lumens, and that'll do the trick anyway. But yes, you can go with a super, super bright lumen flashlight. But that's just another thing to keep in mind as well, is also how concentrated is that beam and how wide is the spread. Because there's a lot of flashlights out there people forget. There's a lot of flashlights out there that like to boast, 800 lumens, 1,000 lumens. And that's all fine and dandy, but if your like beam is not concentrated in one point where you can like blind them like pretty far out, that means you have to be really fucking close, because that otherwise just spreads out like this, right? And it's not going to be really that like concentrated in one spot. So if at further range, you might not be able to blind them in the first spot. Want to go and give another shout out to my man Stitch. Got himself another 5 entries. Let's see here. So I have to go and do that. There you go. Yeah. Another 5 entries from my man Stitch. Again, guys, looks like the odds are in your favor. We haven't had too many people taking advantage of all the promos we have going on. Remember, any airsoft gun order that's $100 or more placed before the end of the live stream. That's going to be in 30 minutes. 30 more minutes, and that's the end of the live stream. Any orders for an airsoft gun that's $100 or more placed before then will be getting 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. Any orders $50 or more placed before the end of the live stream, same time frame, will be getting 5 entries into the shopping spree. 5 chances of winning $1,200 that you could win, right? Also, any orders for an Independence Day mystery box will also be receiving the 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. $170, automatic free shipping, right? There's only 40 left, and these are the prizes that you could win. You could win any of these, right? And these are fucking dope. If you haven't already, make sure to look through this prize list. It's insane. Absolutely insane. 100% worth it. Because again, we're not making much money off these boxes. We're not making any money off all, if I'm being honest about you. But fucking, like, just look at this. It's so fucking cool, right? 240s, right? Mark 46s, VFCs in here, some classic armies, right? You got some LCTs as well, some Zion arms. Like, again, there's some like hot sellers on these fucking boxes, man. You don't want to miss out. You do not want to miss your opportunity to win. Let's see here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, this one comes from Will Wilson. I can't find a PC that fits me. Any suggestions for small people? PC. You mean a plate carrier? Yeah. For plate carriers, usually what I would say, my smaller framed people, I get it. Like sometimes there can be like hard to find stuff that's gonna like fit you. I get it. There are some plate carriers that I want to get that are like meant for smaller or it feels like they're meant for smaller frame people, and they just fucking won't fit me, or they fit me like a bra, right? But for you guys, what I would probably suggest, maybe go with like a JPC style plate carrier, right? JPCs are like probably one of the smallest frame plate carriers you can go ahead and get. Let's see here. Make sure one of these guys are actually. I mean, it also depends too, right? It depends on how big are we actually talking, because we actually do have kids JPC vests from Lance Tactical as well, right? And that are going to come included with the plates too. These are actually not bad. If you're if you're a small kid, you could go with one of these bad boys too for $28. That ain't bad. Right? I know the problem with buying like children's clothes in general, right? This is a problem that my parents had when I was growing up, was that like you would just grow out of them fairly quickly, right? If you're a smaller kid, then yeah, I could see that. But if you're an adult, right, and you're pretty much done growing, I mean, you could still go with that. Again, hey man, people come in all different shapes and sizes, right? Go with one of those. But I would probably say one of these. These would work. This absolutely would work. The SVC laser cut tactical vests, these are cool. These are like really, really sick. Basically anything that has a profile similar to this, right? That sort of JPC. Let's type JPC. All right, let's type in JPC to see what we get. Yeah, the kids JPCs. Some like one of these guys too. This is actually a very nice plate carrier. These should work for smaller frame people. And there are ways to modify the plate carriers as well. Like the straps are usually held in by like some type of like paracord. Usually what I like to do is I'll undo the straps, right? remove the paracord if you want it smaller or wider, depending on the person, right? And if you want it smaller, just weave the paracord or zip tie it so it's shorter, so it actually fits your frame a little bit tighter, right? That's a very easy hack that you could do. Oh, looks like Boss Man wants to go ahead and give me a call. Gonna be joining in on this stream with us right now. All right, Boss Man's on the line. Let me know if you guys can go ahead and hear him.
Isaias,
Yeah, I'm here.
are you seeing this Colonel Hygiene guy try to ask questions? Have you tried to answer him?
I have not seen his question yet. I'm scrolling up. I haven't seen his question yet.
Don't scroll up anything. Do me a favor, ask him what gun is he trying to put an inner barrel in, because he's trying to buy Simon MK12 VFC Avalon. What length? Okay, so if you're talking about, like, you should know the length, right, Isaiah?
For the most part.
What, 300 millimeter? The VFC Avalon, if it's SBR length too, or I mean the 10.5 is also 300 millimeter. MK12, we don't carry that, so I don't know. You have to measure it. All the unicorn barrels, all you need to do is search unicorn barrel. You don't have to search kit. Unicorn barrel. Help him out real quick, yeah?
Just type on the website. All you got to do is just type unicorn airsoft, and that's literally it. We have all the lengths that you're going to need available right there. And if you want to double check, we actually have a blog where we actually measure, or we show all the different measurements. But even easier to access, just click on any unicorn airsoft like inner barrel like listing that we have on the website. Scroll all the way to the bottom of that description, and we actually have the chart right there. You guys can go ahead and see that. Yeah, you guys can see that. We have the chart right there available for you guys. So if you're going with an SBR, right, if you're going for like that sort of Mark 18-ish kind of length, usually what we would say is you can go with a 300 millimeter, right? That would be ideal. You could, I guess, go for like a 310 as well, right? But 300 is usually what we would say is like ideal for like a Mark 18 setup for an inner barrel.
Okay, so rule of thumb is this. Unicorn barrel comes with the buckings already. I believe those are fairly standard 50%. Am I correct?
I believe they're a little stiffer than 50, but yes, but they're going to come included. Yeah.
So the rule of thumb is this. If your gun is not shooting too hot and you're not trying to use a heavy BB, don't go with like 80 degree. You're not going to get any hops out of it. Okay? Remember that. So whatever that comes with, it's good enough. And one thing that's dope about unicorn barrel, it comes with everything you need.
Absolutely. They're going to come included with the bucking and the hop-up nub itself. So, and that hop-up nub is actually going to give you a lot more like surface contact with the BB. It's very consistent, like much more improved consistency compared to the stock nub, but you're not required to change it out. We recommend it, but you don't have to.
So the nub he comes with is, I don't want to call it concave. He is trying to explain to me. He's like, it's kind of like tiger's teeth.
Huh.
I don't know.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
Yeah. So he's going to try to come up with a saying for everybody to make our job easier too. You know, I talk to Wayne almost every other day because he's fascinating to talk to. But Wayne is the owner of Unicorn. So he's coming out with a lot of different stuff. So yeah, please, if your gun is stock, like what this guy is trying to ask, do not use 80%, I think even 70% is a little bit too much. Whatever that comes with, it's good enough.
Yeah.
Unicorn barrels are like a hack, kind of like when you play a video game, kind of like an aimbot almost, because it's very accurate.
Yeah, way more accurate. It gives accuracy to guns that are like that should not have that right of being that accurate. It's a cheat. It's a cheat code.
Brewer, I mean, you saw those Taurus guys were here. We're telling them their AK-12 will reach out about about 65 yards and start spreading it out, even though they use a 6.02 barrel, right?
Yeah.
So we took him out and we shot the MGC4 with the Unicorn 455 barrel in there.
Yeah.
And it was hitting. We measured it today too. You weren't here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isaias. So from where we stand from the grass, hitting the trash, the concrete behind the trash can.
Mm-hmm.
It's 78 yards. Okay, so if a stock MGC4 MK2 with 455 millimeter can reach 78 yards fairly flat, you don't have to overhop it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane that we can do that with the level of quality that Unicorn provides in their barrels, like the smoothness that you get. It's just so good, man. Like it's an actual cheat code. You're right. It absolutely is a cheat code.
Brewer was there. I believe they shot Boss's
MWS.
NWS. Dude, that thing sailed over
Yeah.
the concrete wall.
Yeah, even when we tested it on Friday, it was fucking reaching like crazy.
So there, tell everybody about it. When you buy a gun, even a cheap gun, even a Gen 2, or even something like $150 Unicorn barrel, it's a must. You're gonna gain that much range on people. Just like Brewer was saying, he can literally spawn camp and kill everybody at Hollywood Sports Park, at the Combat Center Park.
Yeah, yeah. At that point, you can reach reach well past the end of the map. So you could just be sitting towards the end of the back, just like, oh yeah, I see someone at the very end. Beep beep, got him.
Exactly. So, can I have a free KWA Ronin if I what? I don't even know what. Okay.
We get a few of those sometimes. In the comment section.
How should I answer this? I can sell it to you for free.
Yeah, it's free for a price. Tell you what, pay that price there and it's free. We'll say that.
Yeah. The shipping is probably the same price as the gun.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah, but anyways, Unicorn barrel. You're not gonna go wrong with it. And he was asking what kind of motor upgrade for the KWA T10 and the Avalon. The T10, you have to be very careful.
Yeah, that's why I say don't change it out.
Yeah, because it has a counterweight. Unless you forget it. I don't want to do this vibration thing.
Yeah.
Take it off. Then you can upgrade the motor. Then go ahead and try to work out.
Yeah, yeah. But at that point, you're just defeating the purpose of the T10, man. It's supposed to be a great like ERG rifle. Like, I don't know. I mean, yes, you could do it if you really wanted to.
So, anybody asking for free stuff?
Sure, it's free for a price.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should set up something.
Maybe we could do another giveaway. Maybe something.
There are a lot of free stuff you can get. I mean, free live stream giveaway. When you buy something, you don't get that from any other shop.
Yeah, we're the only ones that do it. We're the only ones.
If you want some free recycling papers, we can put it in your package too. If you
just trying to go with something.
Yeah, but anyways. The T10, when a lot of people are talking about hey, they're having a hard time upgrading and stuff like that, is because it's kind of designed to be designed to mimic a real firearm AR.
Yeah, it's a training rifle.
If you're gonna shoot 30 BBs per second, 35 BBs per second, 40 BBs per second, I would highly suggest you look for something else, like MGC4, R15, etc., etc.
Yeah, it really depends on what it is that you're ultimately looking for, and even then, not all motors I would recommend for the same type of build. Really depends on what type of setup they're trying to go for. But for the T10 as a whole, I would say it's just one of those guns that leave it alone. It's completely fine as is. It does its job. Again, if anything, swap out for a Unicorn barrel setup, and that's it.
Yeah. All right, that's it. I hope I answered that person's question, and thank you, Brewer, for helping out. I mean, brewers here, and he saw the those Taurus guns that we cannot tell everybody that you can actually check it out at our store.
Yep.
But Eden, if you want one, I know you DM us already. Make up, try to. We'll try to hook you up with it too. It's really expensive.
Yeah, it's just really fucking pricey. But Eden, just be on the lookout. We'll get in touch with you, dude.
You're like rest of your VIPs, rest of Mayo Gangs. If you really want one, hit us up. We'll see what kind of things I can do for you.
Yep.
I'm putting this out here for you.
Just for everyone to know. All right, boss man.
All right, that's it. There are other questions.
Yep.
Hopefully you can jump on.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to those right now.
All right, bye.
All right, bye. I mean, you heard it from the boss man himself, man. Again, he agrees with me. T10, leave it alone. It's perfectly fine as is. If you really want to upgrade it and start doing like some crazy shit to it, yeah, just disassemble or take out the recoil function, disable that. But even then, what's the point? It's so good as is. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start answering some more questions. What is the amount for the next giveaway? This one comes from Airsoft Info. $1,200. That's happening this Thursday. And depending on if the winner is there or not, if the winner ain't there to claim the prize during the live stream, we're gonna end up stacking it, right? Because again, that's what we do. That's how we got the $1,200. We started at $600, and every time that someone misses it and they're not there to claim it, we have to go ahead and have it for another weekend. It stacks, or another week it stacks. So it's gonna be $1,800 if the winner's not there. But again, it's so easy to claim the prize. Why wouldn't you? If you place a $20 order, all you got to do is watch the live stream. That's literally all you got to do. That way you can put down the order number and the last 4 digits of your telephone number if your name is called, and you win. It's a easy as pie. Is that how the expression goes? I don't fucking know. Making sure. Hadrian King, the face went outside the U.S. I'm so sorry, Hadrian King. I'm so sorry. Okay, Will Wilson, most Airsoft battery chargers don't come with storage mode. How do you store charge? How do you store charge? Okay, so usually for chargers that come out of the box, or for the chargers that come included with the Airsoft gun, they're just basic wall chargers, right? You can overcharge the batteries that you get. Usually what I would say is like snatch up a smart charger, right? That we actually have smart chargers available. You can... Smart charger. Right, there's plenty of smart charger options, and most LiPo chargers are the balance chargers, so they're not going to overcharge the battery either. Typically, usually that's pretty much the biggest thing. And as far as storaging it, you can go with a LiPo sack, because you don't want to leave batteries in general. You don't want to leave things plugged in for like extended amounts of time. Even phones, for example, right? If you leave like your regular smartphone plugged into a wall like charger for long enough, you will like damage that battery. It's not good for it. But yeah, you can also get like a LiPo sack as well. We sell as well if you want to store it, so that way again, like it's not going to be like an exposed LiPo battery out in the open. Because remember, LiPo batteries are unstable, so if you're mistreating them and being done with them, you can cause some real damage. Ask me how I know. Ooh, Airsoft Info asks another question. M4 or sniper? M4. I mean, again, that really depends on what it is that you want, man. Again, there are some people who only want to rock snipers, and if you're that person, fucking go for it, dude. Absolutely go for it. That's a very fun part of Airsoft, is it trying different platforms and running with different things. Now, for me, what I would prefer, I'd rather go with M4, because, again, I don't really want to have to worry about follow-up shots if I miss, right? Because knowing me, DJ always likes to give me shit, right? Because I'm left eye dominant and I'm right-handed, so it just makes for a fucking cursed way of shooting, and it just doesn't work all the time, which is another reason why I go with LMG, because accuracy through volume, right? But, I don't want to have to worry about, like, I'm going to need to take time to do a, rack the bolt back and then hit it again just in order for me to go out and do a follow-up shot versus, like, a DMR or, like, just regular M4 or pretty much any other AEG, right? Where it's just, oh, there he is. Zip, 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 right? I can just keep shooting until I hit him. Again, that's just me personally. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, this one's cursed or cool. Colt M203GL on an HK417D. I mean, I don't think it's cursed. I mean, I personally wouldn't do that myself. Well, actually, fuck it. Yeah, I'd say it's cool. I'll say it's cool. Hadrian King. I'll say it's cool. Yeah, Brewer, you're right. 67 degree bucking is ideal for heavier BBs. Yeah, the heavier degree that you go with, that's going to be better if you're trying to work with heavier like BBs, right? Some of my stuff does use 80-degree buckings, but that's also because I minimum use 2.8s, and that's like bare minimum. The 2.8 for me on some of my guns, like my DMRs, those are like 2.0s now. Those are like the bare minimum that I typically use. I will typically use like a 3.0 or like a 3.2. But this one comes from Hayden Price. Hey, what's going on, Hayden? What would you get for an 11-year-old? A Wii Galaxy or AAP01? Please answer. AAP01. I like the Galaxies because they're fun and I think they're cool as is. But the AAP01 just has more upgrade options readily available for it, and there's so many like kits that exist for it, right? Right. If you wanted to make it look like one of the beam spray guns from Gundam, for example, or if you want to make it look like a Milwaukee power drill, they sell the kits for that, right? There's a lot of shit that's available for the AAP01, and I think it's just a cool pistol. It's just a really cool pistol, right? AAP01. There we go. Yeah, AAP01 SAS pistol, fucking cool. And even the C, right? The compact. Ooh, that looks cool, man. That's cool. That's real cool. But again, like either or, you'll be happy with it. And again, order before the end of the stream. You only have 10 more minutes before, guys. You only have 10 more minutes before the end of the live stream. So make sure that you place your orders and take advantage of all the promos we have going on. Remember, any order for an airsoft gun, $100 or more, you get 10 entries in the shopping spree giveaway. Place an order that's $50 or more before 9:30, again, before the end of the live stream, you'll be getting 5 entries in the shopping spree giveaway. But if you order yourself, right, order yourself an Independence Day mystery box, right? $170, automatic free shipping, insane prizes. You get 10 chances, 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway, so you can win $1,200. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Now it goes, does a new rail count as an accessory? I think that's more of an external part, but I guess you could. Though I personally wouldn't. Usually accessory for me would be like, I don't know, like a PEC box or a flashlight, maybe a foregrip of some kind. Former Pickles in the chat, do you guys ship every day or only on certain days? So we ship out, because remember, we're not the shipper. We don't do the deliveries ourselves. We work through USPS or UPS, right? But as far as shipping out packages, we ship out packages Monday through Friday. Okay, this one comes from Gun Blake. What's a good speed soft weapon you'd recommend coming over from paintball? So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you can use any gun that you want for any type of means, right? You can, whether it be through you just buy it stock as is, or even just through modification, you can get it to perform at whatever spec you need or whatever style you would like to. Now, with that said, if you're transitioning over from paintball and you want something that's going to feel like pretty much the same, just feels very natural, I would say maybe take a look at the G&G SSG ones. Oh, and they're on a shocker deal right now? Damn, dude. Damn. Right? Maybe take a look at the SSG ones, right? Now, they're personally not my favorite aesthetic. Now, with that said, I can still respect them. G&G does, they've made some really good quality airsoft guns, right? Now, personally, I do think that they are a little pricey, if I'm being completely honest, for what they are. But I get it. That's their prices. We got to respect that. But at the shocker deal, that's a little bit more fair. That is a little bit more fair. And I would actually recommend getting the SSG one because there are many paintballers that I have known that have tried to get into airsoft and wanted something that felt a little bit more comfortable to what they were using. And the SSG one really seemed to fill that gap. And again, at the end of the day, it is still using a version 2 gearbox, which you guys know. You can put whatever the fuck you want into this bad boy, right? It is so easy to upgrade and modify this bad boy. So I would say, yeah, this would be one that I would probably say. If you're looking for something for Speedsoft or SpeedQB specifically, and that's like pretty much ready to go, this would probably be one that I would suggest. All right. This one comes from Sam Donnelly. What's your thoughts on the M249 Para? I love 249s. I run a 249. I run a Mark 46 specifically. The Para stock is cool. I can definitely see why it was like a thing, right? Why it's there, and it's definitely like good for for what it is. It's not my favorite configuration of the 249 in general, but I mean, again, all 249s a 249 maybe. Like again, like I love the 249. If you handed me a 249 Para, I could do some damage with that. I respect it. Not Isaiah's fault, boss man. I'm not putting a Q in front. No, don't worry, dude. Again, like you can always ask your question. I'll try to answer it. It just helps sometimes with the Q, but yeah, don't worry about it, dude. You're chilling. You are chilling. Hadrian King, Cisco is always watching. Stream in fear, Queso. That's fair. That's fair. Isaias in Jurassic Park coming to an airsoft park near you. Dude, okay, so hear me out. That was always something that I wanted to do because I remember being like a kid, right? And always wanting to design my own airsoft field, right? But then I realized how much stress that would be, and I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can handle that. But one of the ideas or themes that I wanted to do for an airsoft park that I wanted to open up when I was like, still in my like college days, when I was still drawing all the designs in my head, right? I really wanted to make it sort of like a jungle theme, right? Kind of make it Jurassic Park kind of like aesthetic, right? That's always kind of like the aesthetic that I really want to do because I'm a huge Jurassic Park fucking nerd. Like, dude, I consume way too much Jurassic Park content. Like, it's not all right, man. Like, I spend way too much time thinking about dinosaurs and shit. Like, there's something wrong with me. But no, like I genuinely wanted to make like sort of like kind of like an engine facility, right? Kind of overrun and taken over. And then just have like a bunch of like dinosaur props here and there, right? And just host airsoft games there. That'd be really fucking cool. Okay. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, this one comes from Sam Donnelly. So if I made an order like 45 minutes ago, does that work for entries? And when is the giveaway? So Sam, if you made an order like 45 minutes ago, I mean, I'm assuming that happened relatively soon, or relatively like not too long ago. As long as it was between the... Well, first of all, if it's over $20, it doesn't matter what time it is. $20 or more, and you have a shot at winning the shopping giveaway. You get an entry. Now, if it was $50 or more, and it was placed between the time frame of 7:30 when the stream began till like literally right now, or if you want to wait a little after if you haven't placed it yet, till 9:30 p.m., right, 5 minutes, then yes, you will be getting the 5 entries. Now, if it was an order for an airsoft gun, that's $100 or more. Same thing, and it was placed within that time frame of 7:30. Till right now, literally right now as I'm speaking, then yeah, you will be getting the 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. Yeah, all unicorn inner barrels come with bucking and nub. Answer that question. I already answered that question. I think I'm caught up on all questions. Okay, I think I'm good on most questions here. What are available compatible mags? Okay. Ronald Hoover, what's available compatible mags for ACW Spectre SMG? The ACW Spectre actually takes MP5 magazines. So just look up MP5 magazines or MK5 magazines. It'll work. Some more than others, but honestly, I haven't noticed any like issues with any of the other brand MP5 mags. Seem to all take them all. This one comes from Matthew, new to Airsoft. What do you recommend? Generally, I would say look up or figure out what type of Airsoft you do want to play, whether you want to do indoor, more outdoors. See what kind of guns you like. But generally speaking, I do typically for your first airsoft gun, I recommend going with an AEG, an automatic electric gun. Maybe stick with the AR platform, an M4 and M16, right? That's typically what I would suggest. It's going to be the easiest. It's going to be like, again, this is coming from a guy that likes to recommend or likes to, get different platforms and all more unique shit as well, right? I have my own collection. Guys, I run an L85 sometimes. Like, you can't tell me that I don't run, like, some weird-ass guns or FALs, right? Like, at the end of the day, I run some weird stuff sometimes, right? But that's what I like. But even for me, if I'm recommending to a newer player or to a beginner, I usually recommend just stick with the AR platform first and foremost. That's like your first gun, right? Because once you start your collection and you start playing with other stuff, once everything starts breaking or everything really performs at the same level that you want it to, at the end of the day, you will always have a gun that you can always go to, and that's going to be your AR, right? So typically going with like a Lancer Tactical Gen 2, maybe a classic Army Skirmish series, right? There's many guns like that. If you were on a really tight budget, I would say maybe check out the Core series, right? There's a lot of guns within the Core series right now that you can get that are really, really affordable, right? They don't have a battery and charger, which I know sounds kind of like, but, bear in mind, the battery and charger you get out of the box isn't always the best anyway, right? So you can go ahead and just start using that money that you saved into spending it on a good battery and a charger right from the get-go. Okay, we only got like 2 more minutes left. 2 minutes left of the live stream. All right, let's go down to the most recent questions. Okay. Yeah, Stitch says too. Cheap is subjective. Okay, Blizzard asks, hey, can you rate my setup out of 10? An SRC M4 with a red dot angled foregrip, laser sidearm is GV Glock. That's not bad. I'd give it an 8. Right at the end of the day, you're just rocking like an M4, right, with a Glock. Solid pick, right? Red dot. I like the angled foregrip. I will say I will give you extra points for the angled foregrip because angled foregrips, in my opinion, are king, baby. But again, that's completely subjective. It really all just depends. If Cisco were here, he'd be like, it's good, but it's not as good, right? He would probably go with either like a barricade or like a hand stop or even just a vertical grip, just a straight vertical grip because you can be used like that. Okay, this comes from Stan Donnelly. What battery would be good for the 249? Depends on whether it's front wired or rear wired. I believe the Para is front wired. I would personally recommend going with like either a tri-panel, right? Because if it's going to be like located under the barrel, either a tri-panel or you can go with a fairly thinner stick. That's usually what I would recommend. Okay, make sure. Moises Hernandez, any news on the AK-12 PE? Not yet. They'll probably be on they'll probably be available at some point or another. But again, just really depends because those are really expensive too. Those are like really, really pricey guns. Make sure. Okay, I have time for like maybe one last question. This comes from TBDD. What is shimming? Also, why should I go for a lower gear ratio? So shimming is basically like if you put the gears all together, right? If you were to just have them stuck on with no like spacers, they're basically spacers, right? You're trying to space it out so it meshes nice and properly. If you don't put any shims on there whatsoever, it's gonna be like super tight. You can't really do much. But if you have it too much, right, they're not making enough contact. It's gonna rotate around. It's just not good, right? You want to get it so they mesh nice and properly. And lower gear ratios, the lower the gear ratio, the less time it takes for a full cycle to go. That's how it was explained to me, right? So if you're trying to go for a fast rate of fire, go for a lower gear ratio because that's less teeth, right? Oh, lost man. I want to go and give another shout out to Ronald before we close out. Ronald with the 5 entries and Gerardo with the 5 entries, guys. These guys were smart. They took advantage of all the promos that we had going on and were able to go ahead and get their extra entries into the shopping spree giveaway. But all right, guys, that about wraps it up for tonight. Make sure to go ahead and place your orders right now. Get yourself your entries into the shopping spree giveaway. The promos might have ended, but the entries are still available. Again, you guys can still get your entries into the shopping spree giveaway and win $1,200 for yourself. That's a lot of money that you guys can go ahead and win. And I want to give a special thank you to everyone that is watching right now. Thank you guys for everyone that joined in. It means the world to me that you chose to spend your free time hanging out with not just the Mayo Gang, not just the Boss Man, but with myself as well. It actually genuinely means the world to me. Hopefully I was entertaining enough and I was able to answer all you guys' questions. If I wasn't able to get to your question, remember, I am going to be streaming again. I'm going to be streaming again, I believe myself, this coming Friday and Saturday as well. In addition, you can also DM us, Instagram, Facebook, even our Discord server. If you haven't already, make sure to check out our Discord server. Very cool spot. Very, very good community there. But if you want to go ahead and support the channel directly, make sure to go ahead and shop for all your Airsoft goodies at Airsoft GI. My name is Isaias, and I will see you guys on the